This conference will now be recorded.
Will be captured for the record, and the general manager will address all of your issues or concerns for this meeting within 72 hours. We're here tonight to approve the wastewater improvement and special assessments. And Mr. Boss, would you like to take over?
Yes, ma'am. So you see the agenda. There's some packets at the desk there for anyone that's interested to go read along. I'll display it on the screen. The intent here is there'll be a discussion by the board with public comment on our resolution. Then once that is complete, and if you have public comment in general on the wastewater, that's your time to make a comment. Then we will move into an appeal and arbitration board that if you have specific questions about your property and how the assessment's impacting you and you're asking for a waiver, reduction, then we'll call you back up and you'll have your ability to state your address and state your situation. And then I have my staff here that will, we'll probably dig into it quickly, but more than likely we will recommend to the board an action, either table it or act on it. And we will address those concerns separately from the rest of the assessment role per se. So we're kind of two parts here. We're going to do a brief update and then move into appeals by parcels. So it's basically public comment in general is where we're at right now. If you have a generic question about the wastewater or public comment, this will be the opportunity now.
Please come up to the podium. We have to state your name and address.
Good afternoon. Oh, sir, if you could hold on for just one moment, just formality. President Phillips, if you could announce right now that the board will entertain a public hearing on these resolutions, you could say the board is now going to hold a public hearing.
The board is now going to hold a public hearing on resolution number 224-05.
And that's to levy the assessments for
the wastewater.
Very good, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Modesto David Chirino. Address is 5005 Columbus Boulevard here in Center Lake. I purchased this home 3 years ago, and I also purchased the vacant lot next to me. I went ahead and went to the county and combined them into one tax folio. And my concern was, am I going to pay this double water treatment plant assessment or just one? That's my question.
A specific question, the answer is if you have one parcel, so you pay for one part. If we have your information, we can follow up with you to get specifically your situation. Go ahead.
My name is Bob Phillips, I'm a resident. And we had a conversation about 10 minutes ago, and I just wanted a question answered. What's the hospital's part of this? Because I'm assuming they're going to use a heck of a lot more water than the residents. What's their part in the resolution?
So specifically in the, this will be presented on our website as well. Specifically, the hospital will be paying in total about $1.5 million in this special assessment.
Thanks.
Terry Belanger, 4617 Cortez Boulevard. And I purchased my home about 2 years ago. And when I purchased the home, it had a septic tank and a well and no water system use. And I really don't think that I should pay for something that I'm not using. And so I'm asking for an exemption because I'm not going to use it and don't want to pay that much money. Don't have it to pay either. So Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Board, I have her information. We'll follow up directly with you, ma'am, after this, and we'll add you to the list for possible exemptions.
Yes, sir?
Should that be next one, this nomination?
If it's specific to your parcel, I would say, can you please hold, sir? Yes, sir. She had an appointment she has to go to, that's why I asked her to do it, yeah.
Anybody else?
Hi, good evening. My name is Alexander Kobe. I'm the owner of 8214 Granada Boulevard, which is just a short distance from the airport where this is going to be built. I don't plan on building on that property anytime soon. But my question is, with that assessment, considering I don't think it's right now, it might not be requiring it in the future because of septic and well possibilities, would I be responsible to pay that this upcoming assessment term, consider if this does get approved?
We clarified that in this briefing, but once the board approves this, everyone gets assessed starting this year, 1 October.
Okay.
You'll be required to pay the annual assessment at a minimum.
Now, even if I don't,
Even if you're not on first, but we'll discuss it, brief this very quickly for everyone.
okay. Can I get a second question?
Sure.
All right. Is this a set in stone decision, or will a homeowner or a property owner have the option to use a septic and well, or this is, once it goes through, the only option for property owners moving forward?
Just understand, this is an assessment against your parcel for the wastewater plant to build it. It's not tied to forcing everyone to be on the wastewater system.
Okay,
That's going to be at your time, but you will have access to it. That's what we're building it for.
okay. Yes, sir. Thanks so much.
I think that's it. Okay, we'll move into a very quick stack overview of the project for the good of the group. Just so we're all clear, this is the location as noted here of Palermo Avenue. It's an unbuilt road. It's out to the west on Granada. So you see Granada Boulevard, you see Palermo, which is the unapproved road, and then you see Schumacher to the bottom of your screen there. So that is the confines of this project. This is a view from Schumacher Road. If you look at there, to the left is the new Palermo Road, which is a dirt trail. You see Cortez over there where we do have housing, and then you see Granada on the north side. This is the beginning of the wastewater project. So it'll start very close to the Cortez properties. It'll run all the way out, Granada, all the way out to Balboa at the very end. So conceptually, from this position, I'm standing at the intersection of the soon-to-be Palermo Road that's built, that's that road at the bottom, and Granada, which is along the right side of your screen there. This will be the wastewater facility that's being built. As you see, it consumes a lot of land, about 60 acres in total. It's going to include not only the facility to run it, but all the retention ponds and so on, drying ponds for the wastewater plant. And that's going to go the entirety along the south side of Granada. This is a very initial rendering. We have not picked the contractor. We have not gone a lot of detail into the development. That's the next step. This is the last of the step of the financing side of it, and then we go into the development side. This is a overhead view. So you see Palermo, you see Granada. So now you see the project in total. All those circles are that the district is already doing projects out there. We're doing the environmental study. We're doing wells. We're checking the density of the soils. And those are ongoing this year. We're not waiting on anything. So you see here how the project will be laid out. It goes all the way to very close to Balboa, to the far left of your screen there. And then there is a wetland conservation area that everyone's aware of that runs into the county preserve, as you see there on the bottom of your screen. It just gives you a picture of it. To some of the discussion here about, well, I'm not on this system. The intent of this project is a totality of a $90 million project that is going to address the people that are currently on our utility. That's all the light colored areas over there, unit 16, unit 3, 4, so on and so forth. That you're currently on the system, about 4,500 customers. You will get the benefits of a newer system that will last 50 plus years and provide some savings in the future. We're really building this not only for the current users, but the ability to address and hook up in the future all those undeveloped parcels. So all that darker area that's bordered in by the blue and the orange there, those are units, everything past Cortez, that you currently have people living out there. About 300 parcels right now have been developed. But we have currently people out here that are on well and on septic. That's just based on necessity. The intent here is tied to this build. We're not only going to build a wastewater plant, on the bottom of your screen there is where it's going, the red area. All the blue lines connected to this $90 million project, the district will start putting in force mains, sewer, run next to water lines. That's going to go all to those blue areas, those blue pipelines. That's our plan over the next 1 to 4 years, tied to this project. So not only are we going to build a wastewater plant concurrently, we're going to start laying out all the force mains that connects to the new plant. In the 4 to 8 year window, all the orange areas, you're saying we're going to start running the lines deeper into those neighborhoods. And then over time, everyone that's out there will have the ability to connect and to utilize the new system. So that automatically overnight increases the value of your property. You're on a utility. That automatically assists you in the future. We all see how our great state of Florida, as well as the country, is going with environmental issues, get off septic systems, the reduction in wells, not allowing them anymore. And as we foresee that in the future, those restrictions will come. This gives you, as the homeowner, the ability to have an option to tie into a utility, not be on your own. And when your septic tank fails, you're told you can't replace it, we're not going to permit it. Or when your well dries up, you're told we're not allowing any more wells. Then you'll be looking at your district, what can you do for me? I can't do nothing for you now, but part of this plan, once we lay the lines out there, I will be able to assist by connecting you to our utility. So to address all the concerns of I'm not on a utility now, part of the project here, as we lay this project out over the next few months and years, we will show you where all these new lines will go in and how they will directly impact your personal property. That's part of this $2,700 per parcel, $90 million project. That's the intent here. It's to increase the value of your property, but as well give you the ability to tap into a official, sanctioned, proper water system, proper sewer system that is managed by your district and your utility. So that's the plan. And obviously beyond 8 years, we have future plans that will, spring out from those main lines and go into the communities. The reality is that we'll be working with developers that are building those houses to run those lines. Right now they can't, it's cost prohibitive, but once I have a force main near them, then they'll be able to run those lines from those housing units, developments, into our main, and that's what you're buying when you buy a house. So that's conceptually the plan tied to this project. We're going to have this next session coming up at the way ahead from this point forward. Once it's approved, if there's a contested parcel, the staff here will present to your board your contesting of it, your appeal, and they'll make a decision, positive or negative, do we allow it or not. That'll be the next step for those individuals that want to contest their individual property. The assessment roll will be approved tonight. That's simplistically, everyone pays $2,700 except for 21 parcels, my commercial people, that will pay into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the roll. That's established and approved tonight. If you're on the utility, you'll be contacted by my utility. My folks at the end here, I got my utility director, my finance manager for utility, and my billing specialist. They will be contacting you to say, how do you want to pay this? Put it on my bill, $15, $180, or pay it all. My next group there, my finance folks, Coral, and who's there?
Just me.
Coral's the finance, so the keeper of the record for the district is my finance department. So while you may be on the utility and paying that way, the official record is maintained by my assessment roll, and that's the finance department. So to the point here, if you're not on the utility, you'll be receiving your assessment bills this year, and other than the annual assessment, there will be a drop down that says, and your wastewater assessment is this amount, pay it 180 or pay it in full. That'll be received every year while you're off the utility. That's the only way you'll see it. You won't see it for a utility bill because you're not getting that. If you have any questions, then if it's a question about the special assessment, it's through my finance department. Information is online, come in the office, talk to them. If you have a question about how my payments are being applied on my utility, it's through my utility department. And both of them talk every day, and they are the keeper of the official record. So you'll start seeing that in your October bill. You'll see that in your October special assessments. Every year, starting next year, when you get the official assessment bill from the district, we will provide to you an accounting of where you stand on the payoff. So if you have not paid it in full, the official record, finance department, will send you your bill for next year. It'll say, you have paid X amount towards your $2,700, and that's your record. That'll keep you in check, so you're seeing it once a year officially. At any time, you want an accounting of it, you want to come 2 months from now, 3 months from now, please drop by the district office, contact my billing or my finance, and they can give you a live count of what you paid to date and what you still owe to date. And then moving after this project, after this finance part of it, we probably every 6 months will hold a special public session. It won't be a board meeting, a special public session. I will give you updates on the construction, the impacts of the water lines, how close we are to completing it, and get any feedback from you as citizens of you would like to see this, this, and this, or why are we doing this, this, and this. You'll see that on a regular basis from the district. The plan is in 5 years. This thing's built. We're doing a ribbon cutting. It's operational, and it's seamless to anyone on the utility. All we're going to do is turn the pipes another way, and they're done. They go to the new plant. It'll be more impactful to the ones not on the utility that will have new construction near their house that may ask us at that time, can I connect? That'll be the future discussion we'll have. And that's where we stand there. So any questions from the audience or from the board?
My name's Alexander Kobe, the owner of 8214 Granada. And my question is, what is going to, is this an answer, are you going to be able to answer me at this point, or will it be followed up
It
later?
depends on the depth of the question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I hadn't seen a picture of how big and to what large a scale that facility is, but considering my property is just a stone's throw away, has it been considered for the local residents in that area, the environmental or the quality of life impact that that facility, being the wastewater treatment plant, is going to have on those properties and already there?
Yes, good question. Part of the design of this, part of the engagement with our builder or contractor, we are going to create a buffer, about 100 foot or more of vegetation, large trees. So you should not see the project.
See,
So that's going to be here. It's going to be along Granada and Palermo. So it's a visual buffer. The technology that we have in wastewater plants currently, not compared to what we had in Unit 4 and Unit 23, has gone years ahead. So the reality is there's so many scrubbing processes and so on that we're going to be using the right technology and UV and sanitation and whatnot, that there should be no impact smell-wise for anyone that lives in that area.
And as far as health concerns and things of that nature, like considering my property is on, the wastewater treatment plant would be the neighbor's closest street.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing. That's a big concern for me moving forward.
I understand, sir. We'll be looking into that. The county health department's involved in this project. They'll be doing assessments and checks. Our departments will be doing that to make sure we're not causing environmental impact. So yes, yeah, part of the project is that. Thank you, sir.
That's still David Chirino, 5005 Columbus Boulevard. I have a septic tank right now. Will that stay or will it go away? Because I went through this when I was younger, living in Hialeah. We just hooked up to the street to where the new system was. Is that how it's gonna be?
Basically, your septic stays in place until you want to hook up to the system.
Okay.
We are not going to force you to come on our septic system or our sewer system.
Okay.
In Ladue 2830 Monza. Can you explain a little bit about if you sell your property, what would happen to the assessment, who's responsible for that going forward?
Sure.
And the second question is, when you answered about the hospital, sounds like a lot of money, but if you spread that out 15 years, it really isn't a lot of money. So do they get say interest, do you get interest upon that money, you know, that kind of thing. I'm not an accountant, but I'm just thinking ahead that way.
Sure. So I'll take the second part. So, and I was remiss, we have our district legal counsel, Garrett, here. And what the district went down the road, we hired a subject matter expert in the field, Attorney Chris Rowe, that does this for many municipalities in Florida. So the level of detail on the rules and regulations when it comes to what we can assess and cannot assess and how we write the language, we defer to Chris, and we're very comfortable to present to the board that the product we have answers all those concerns. So to the concern of the hospital, we wanted to offer everyone in the district, I don't care if you're a high payer or you're just paying $2,700, the ability to basically self-finance this over 15 years. We didn't want to impact anybody's budget. So we as a district were able to roll this out over 15 years. We gave the option to also pay it monthly. The reality is when you do some special assessments, if you all lived in other municipalities, an assessment comes down, more than likely they wanted the money that year, pay it in full, otherwise there's a lien on your house. We could have did this, but we didn't want to do that. That was not good to our residents. So we were able to roll it out over 50 years. We made a concerted effort based on the board giving me direction, concerted effort. There's no, other than if you're late, there's no additional interest. There's no penalties or anything. If you're 1 month, you know, you didn't pay in November, but you waited till December. The only fee or fine that will come into play is if you did not pay next year, because everyone pays once a year. If you do not pay anything by September of next year and you're late, then you'll start accruing fees and penalties. But you don't have to pay this at all until next October, basically, or sorry, September. Most people are taking the option of $50 a month to make it easier on everyone's budgets. And we're offering that the same. So while the hospital got a big $1.5 million bill, their monthly and their annual payments are going to be $150,000, $200,000, which is a lot for any business. And that goes for the other businesses as well. But we wanted to treat them the same in our logic. So it was just the same for all residents, commercial or private. Did I answer?
You answered the second one. The first one about what if we sell our property?
Selling is easier. So because we're doing this, we're accounting for this annually. At any point in time, however much you paid into your assessment, our keeper of the record will be approached by the realtor company if you're selling. And they will say, what is owed on this parcel? We compile district assessments, these fees and everything, and we say, this is what was paid into it. So that will be shown to the real estate at closing. Then there's the delta, that's what's left. You will be responsible for what you owed up to that time. We will credit that amount to your property for the new owner. The new owner will not get a $2,700 bill. The new owner will get what's left. And they'll be responsible for that amount, and we'll give them the same time period, 15 years. But the reality is, if they come and buy this house 5 years from now, they only got 10 years to pay. That's just, we can't keep rolling this out every 15 years. And that's the way that our court resolution is written. So we account for that. We're just going to hold individuals accountable for their portion. The new owner is responsible for what's left, and they credit. We give them a credit. We won't give you your money back. That was your contribution to your house, to your parcel while you lived in it. But the new owners will get what's left remaining, and that's their responsibility.
Thank you.
Okay?
My name is Crystal Mendoza, 4128 Mendoza Avenue. I have a few questions. Maybe you can write them down and either or just, but, okay, first of all, you guys say it's $90 million, right? The water plant, this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, what, 90 millions, right? And you only charge a hospital $1 million, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, makes no sense. Second of all, we are doing this, yeah, it makes no sense to you. I don't know how funny it is, but does it make sense to you that a hospital, it's paying $1 million, where we, that actually have to pay assessment to, have to pay for that also? And second of all, this is a new water plant, right? That impact fee should be, because you guys did this water plant for the people that you thought we were gonna have. And these people, you charge all that money to the people that came in, all these old people, right? So now you want to make it a water plant because now you got more people. They should have that impact to the house, to the developers, give it to them. Lower it down, $90 million, not only that you say we have the best water, I do not know how good do you think the water is, that you have warning alerts 24/7. That's a concern. And not only that, you won't even know that if you go to your website. So guess what? People are getting sick of their stomachs because if you have a boiling alert, what do you think it's for?
Well, I know what it's for, man. It's when we have to break in the line, we're by law and required to inform you.
Back in COVID, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of people here that are sick, delicate, older people, and you're not taking back responsibility. You're trying to say, yeah, all of you pay the 90 million. Don't matter whether they have the two lots or one of them two. And I heard, which I went the other day to ask it, I heard that a person that has two lots will have to pay that impact. And the lady even said, I do not have a house. Well, that's not my problem. There is, because unless you're building a house, I agree, you want to put that in the new house because they're getting water that was not calculated when you built this place. The reason that you're building something new is because the system is not capable of or getting all these new people. But that is not my problem. We bought this house, we had the plan done for it. And now you want to say, hey, yeah, we want more money, more money, more money. Then charge it to the people that is coming new. The same way assessments are going to everybody, but we don't get no benefit. Don't tell me that playing on a boat, that's the benefit. No. If you don't know, in most places that you do buy and you pay for home association assessment, you want to call it, it's a fee that we have to do. The pools are included, sir. You guys want to have things that, no, the pool is a privilege. No, we're not. Because we're paying for golf. Yeah, everybody that wants to go play golf, yes, hire it. Because why? That is not a necessity. The only people that play that is not the kids that go with our families. We come here because we got family, we got things that we can do with our kids and family. The pool is part of it. And for going to the pool, that's what they be assessment. Now you want to keep on erasing, and now nobody can say nothing about it. You took that upon yourself, and everybody that was here to say, yeah, $90 million and everybody's paying. Where, if you say that we agree on something, where is the people that agree? Just 2-3 people here agree for $90 million? We didn't agree. I bet that nobody that's here are happy with $90 million that you want to build, that we're going to get the people that live around, which is us too. We're going to get all that traffic, all that dirt, all this garbage that you guys are going to make. And you just sit there and be like, yes, $90 million. It's 5.7. Why? The people that live here, we live paycheck by paycheck. And we don't come with, now you want to come up with that? I didn't sign up for this. In my contract, it's not that. You didn't ask me, am I willing to before you move here? Here, we have this much fees. You don't say it. So now to the people that actually bought this house, years living here, my house is over 30 years. I have also failed, but you still have to. Yes, thank you. But anyway, I guess you can answer me if you want to write it. And unfortunately, we have to speak up.
Thank you, thank you for your.
Hey,
Public comment, any more?
I think that was it, man. Thank you.
All right, go on. Round two now. or round one?
We're still around one, sir.
Afternoon, Mark Prolier, 8248 in Chua. I have a couple lots. I just have a question about the growth projections. Are the growth projections in line with what you're proposing in those areas? I have some lots that sit in that window. So do the growth projections support the idea? I get it, going to bring in the utility piece. Do the growth projections over the next 5 to 10 years support what that infrastructure is going to look like?
So in this planning, we use a very conservative 3% growth rate per future. Right now, we're averaging 7 and 10%. Our population just went up by 3,000 people just since the census. We have currently about 300 active builds going on in the district. So I'm not concerned at all about the growth coming in here. It's the lack of growth that's being stifled because we don't have the right utility network to that way. So I think we're very conservative on growth when it comes to the additional clients, be they customers to the utility or just be they owners in some way. We've erred on the very low side. So the reality is the number that would be contributing to this, it's across all the parcels. So even vacant parcels are paying the same. Right. And to the point, developers are paying, every developer that comes here gets charged $2,700. They're paying it before they sell the house. That's a requirement we're doing for developers. They're having to pay the $180. So everyone's being treated the same here when it comes to that.
Appreciate it. Thanks, sir.
Go ahead, Garrett, John.
President, seeing that there's no more public comment, it'd be appropriate to close the public hearing at this time. And then once you do that, I have a little more further instruction.
Close.
Very good. And so at this point, it's back up to the board for discussion. And what Chris and I would advise the board to proceed at this point, following discussion would be an oral vote to levy and impose the special assessments for the wastewater plant. Following that vote, there will be, the board, as you all know, will sit as the equalization board. You will hear appeals from affected property owners. Following those appeals, the board will again discuss, and at that point, will be a final vote to approve the resolution that is before you tonight. So if you guys have any questions about that process or procedure, just feel free to ask any questions, you guys. Okay?
So we're going to have a final vote after we hear from the audience.
That's correct. But at this point,
If the audience's challenges are going to be put on hold for further review, we still have the final vote?
yes, that's correct. And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but what would happen at that point is you approve the resolution subject to those particular instances.
Once we take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for those to be addressed later.
And the first motion is for the assessment rollout?
Yes, that's correct.
Resolution 240405, that's the motion on the table for approval. That is the assessment rule.
That is it?
That's what we're calling resolution 3. The true title is 2404-5. That's the resolution that finalizes everything, sets the rules.
Okay, so 2024-05.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. So I'll make a motion that the board approve resolution 2024-05. I'll second that motion.
Discussion from the board. Call vote.
Yes.
What?
We have sent. We have public comment.
Oh, can we hold for just a moment? Hey, if we can, at this point, I hear what Bob is saying, that is the resolution that's on the table for tonight. But at this point, it would be appropriate just for the board to orally vote to impose the assessments. And then that is when you hear the affected property owners, their appeal. You're not voting on the resolution in this particular moment, but later this evening you will. So an appropriate motion would be, I move to levy the special assessments to impose for the wastewater treatment facility.
Yes, I'll amend the motion. I move to vote on the resolutions.
It'd be to impose special assessment.
I vote, motion to approve the assessments on the special wastewater treatment, water plant.
That's correct.
And I was second to begin.
Any comment? Yeah. Sir,
We need, we don't need public. No, we're good. It's a vote. Voice vote, voice vote.
Yes. We're in agreement.
We got a vote.
Supervisor Brooks,
Yeah.
Supervisor Herrick,
Yes.
Supervisor McLaughlin,
Yes.
Supervisor Norton,
Yes.
President Phillips.
Yes.
Very good. Now that the board has voted to impose and levy the special assessment for the wastewater, the board will now convene as what is called, what's referred to as an equalizing board. You all will hear appeals from owners whose properties are affected by the imposition you guys just made. I think for this as well, 3 minutes, Chris. Yeah, so we're going to stick with our 3 minutes. Of course, President Phil, if anyone needs to go beyond that, we can extend on a case-by-case basis. And then as we field folks here, we will, staff will jump in with recommendations on how to proceed through the board. And then after that, I'll update you guys on what's next.
Okay.
All right?
At this time, I would like one at a time to come up and state your cases, why you think you should be exempt from the special assessment. Right.
We have none scheduled, no pre-scheduling at the district, so this will all be ad hoc. So sir, you're the first one up, and waiting very patiently.
Can I get the map back up there?
Sure.
Is this gentleman here, not neighbor, my family lived here for a little over 17 years.
I need your full name, sir, and your address, please.
Troy Dobson, 8719 Granada Boulevard.
Hold on, sir.
Good evening, board members. I just want to point out that the purpose of this round of public input is to hear comments from affected property owners as to whether not only should their property be exempt, but in some cases, should their assessment amount be reduced? Or if I have two parcels, am I getting assessed for both, or can it only be the one? So it's any type of complaint concerning the assessment imposed against signs.
Well, that's part of it, yes. I mean, we've lived here 17 years. We don't use water, sewer, we just drive them through it. So this is another assessment that we're gonna have to pay. And I'm worried about the environmental impact, because I've got videos. I've been coming down here for the last 6 months, just on and off, taking care of my dad, moving here. And the ditch line in front of it is a full stream now. And I've asked a month ago, I spoke to somebody, I believe Bob or somebody, about checking it. Still haven't heard from anybody. Mosquitoes, I mean, there's water that deep running in front of our house. I've got a video if you'd like to see it, but I mean, we don't pay, 17 years, we don't use your water, don't use your sewer. I love the water, use my language, out of the well. I'm from Indianapolis and it's horrible. But I hope that I could get it, but I'm not going to get it for another 8, 10 years. We all know that, because I'm right there at the end of where the sewer's going to be.
Sir, your name, I apologize, we got your address, we didn't get your full name.
Troy Dobson III.
I would just recommend you table that one. I do some investigation on that part. So he's not really asking for other than a full waiver. So the staff owes you more on that one.
Okay, Grisel Mendoza, 4128 Mendoza Avenue. We do have two lanes in that impact fee. Are you gonna put it in everybody that had two lanes? Why?
Because it's every parcel.
Well, it's, but you have one of them.
Doesn't matter.
One is
Per parcel.
so how, okay, this is for you to say what will be implemented, or this is to vote whether we agree or not? And what are you talking about if you have a reasonable, to say why I don't want to pay? Well, I don't want to pay because I only got one house. And it's not fair that people that have two lots would have to pay for that too.
Okay, so you state your board, we don't need that. Can you state your two addresses, please, ma'am?
4128 Mendoza Avenue, whatever is next to it, it's in a corner.
41, you have a house on one,
Yeah.
the other one's vacant. Okay, again, I would ask that we'll have to do some investigation with the utility department. We'll bring this back to you as a potential.
Here, if you say you were gonna answer, when am I gonna get that? Do you have my?
I said, meet you at any time to come chat about it, but I captured most of your questions, and I will get with you, because I deal with you a lot. Yes, ma'am. We come see you, ma'am. Don't worry about it.
Kingdom, because unfortunately, we don't get nothing done with it, just hearing.
Next one, please.
So we table that.
We'll table that. 4120 and 28, we'll get you the feedback.
Hi, my name is Veronica Homa. I'm at 4502 Boston Street. Okay, that's a new home I just built. And I paid extra, and the builders were all about the whole system and the water system, and the more that they paid for hookups to your water system and all that. And they sold us on all this. They have some sort of blending that goes out, you know, with the wastewater and all this. We paid a lot of money for these new. And now we're gonna get another assessment fee. I mean, I just left Miami for assessment fees and so forth, being that we have no bylaws, being that I don't have an association where I live, and I'm getting hit with the assessment fee. Leaving Miami, trying to get away from this, and this is what I'm coming to.
Yes.
You know, what's gonna be next? And I'm just building another house. And then I'm gonna be also responsible for that. You know, so, and as the other gentleman was saying, I have a house on an island, because I have all these tracks around my house full of water. I understand it's raining and stuff, but I don't know if it's because of construction that's going on. The water's not running, the water's staying there. I got beautiful walleye eating there all day long. You know, what could we do? Could you get trucks out there to pump those water out to get all these mosquitoes away? Because the bugs are horrendous. And the snakes and the frogs and so forth.
4502 Boston.
Correct. There's next to me, which is 4502, and he's 4504.
4504. I would ask, you got a lot of issues there. I would ask to table this one, and we'll investigate it and get back to your recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next.
Good evening, it's Alexander Kobe, 8214 Granada Boulevard. I'm asking to be exempt from this assessment because the proposed location of the wastewater treatment plant will greatly reduce the quality of life for me and my property at 8214 Granada Boulevard, considering they will be my neighbors across the street. Also, the ERC of 220 gallons of wastewater is impossible for me to use. That would equal roughly 82 hours in the shower, or about 146 toilet flushes per day. It's not typical, and I'm asking to be exempt from this assessment at the current time.
8214 Granada. So, you have the specific ask, because you're mentioning the 220 gallon. We'll be able to investigate that, show you your input and output, and give you comfort that that's the right calculation for you. I would ask, because of that investigation, we table it. I'll bring that back to your recommendation. Thank you so much.
Next. So I have 5,
We
4.
have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we owe you back in this month's meeting. We'll have the staff do some analysis with recommendations. We'll reach out to the 5 homeowners that requested an adjustment or appeal, and we'll give you the staff information prior to the meeting. You're more than welcome to come to our September meeting this month, and then that's be when the board will be determining yes or no.
That will be September 4.
24th at 5:30 at night. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Back here.
right here.
We'll get with you as a staff prior to that. We'll give you some notification. That's it. So we got what you're doing. So, then it's back to you, man. That's the 5 appeals on the table, and it's back.
Okay.
This is the resolution.
All right. Now, call the board in back to you.
It's back to you all for discussion on the resolution. We have one, it looks like there's a clarification we need to add in the resolution.
Yes, so board, in section 4, subsection E, there was a small typo in the number of years that the assessment would be, that folks could pay their assessment by. In first two resolutions that the board approved for this particular assessment, the board wanted to give folks 15 years paying off their assessment.
Where are you? Page 3. Page what? Three.
It's the middle of page 3. It's right before section 5. You'll see it says 20 years there. That should say 50.
Yes.
So at this point, to remain consistent with the board's direction and how staff is moving forward with the project and the first two resolutions, we would just request that any motion to approve the resolution that motion would include caveat to revise that particular section from 20 years to 50. Yeah, or if we could have a motion to like that.
You make it a motion and we'll get you a clean copy more.
Yeah, and then we'll fix it as well. So
I move to approve resolution number 2024-05 with the exception that in section 4, item E, yours is actually 15 years.
15-year collection period.
Or
15-year collection period.
50-year collection period. I'll second.
Discussion?
Supervisor Herrick,
Yes.
Supervisor McLaughlin,
Yes.
Supervisor Norton,
Yes.
Supervisor Brooks,
Yeah.
President Phillips.
Yes.
That's it, man. It's, we'll get that published, get it signed. Other than the way ahead issues like I've already presented, that's what we'll start moving with. I reviewed the staff findings on the 5 cases here, and we'll bring that resolution to you with that recommendation this month. Other than that, we'll start the process working with DEP to get the project going.
2024-02.
We've already approved those previously, sir. We wanted to move 2, we're done. Yeah.
Right. And
So that's all I have other than discussion to and from the board on this topic, right?
Next meeting is, I don't have a date on my agenda.
24th at 5:30 back here.
I just want to clarify, the next meeting when all your appeals will be answered is on the 24th at 5:30 right here. Any questions?
I have a quick question.
Yes,
Is it too late to ask just a general question?
absolutely not.
Do I need to go up?
Yes, please.
My name's Sherry Stark. I live at 2408 Manor Drive. I'm just curious, is the lighting for this plant, what's the lighting going to be like? And I'm going somewhere with this, but what is the lighting going to be around?
You're way early in the game on the specifics of that. Obviously, we'll be trying to stick to either LED or solar. It will be low profile, but we're way early in the game on that. Feel like we've worked it out with the builder.
I asked that, and this is not about this, but just the lighting, the Sun and Lakes. I've been here for 10 years. I left corporate America. I've now worked for the school board, and I'd like to walk at night when it's dark. In my neighborhood, you can't even see going around curves. It's a safety issue. So that's why I was asking, is the lighting going to be better than what's provided in the residential?
Yes, ma'am. And in future board meetings, we will be addressing street lighting across the district.
Okay.
So we'll be addressing it.
This upcoming agenda, but we have concerns of that. Yes.
That's it.
Sharon.
What? Oh, good.
We're good.
We have to vote.
Good.